Hey, it's Tuesday, and that means that this is a Sunday recap video. So here we go. Upstairs in the month of March, we're talking about questions. Big questions that Jesus asked all of his disciples. And this last Sunday, we talked about a huge question. The question of, do I really have to do what Jesus commands? Maybe more importantly, the question of, do I really have to do everything that Jesus commands? The obvious answer to that is yes, of course you have to do everything that Jesus commands. That's why he commanded it. We learned on Sunday, or at least the big idea on Sunday was, if I'm going to follow Jesus, I got to do what he commands. And I know that seems so simple, but we learned with that sometimes it's hard to do what Jesus commands because we don't really get it. To help us understand that, we learned that parents have two main types of rules. Rules like this. Don't do that. And rules like this. Take the trash out.
Hey, let's go swimming and not get wet.
Sometimes obeying Jesus is hard to do. And it's hard because we don't know why he's asking us to do what he's asking us to do. Sometimes he's asking us to not do the very thing that we want to do the most. And it's a lot like that kid that's trying to stick a fork into an outlet. Mom and dad know that as soon as that fork gets stuck in there, it is going to shock you and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt bad. So mom and dad set up rules to keep their kids safe. And Jesus does the same thing. Sometimes the very thing that we want most is the thing that would kill us or hurt us. And so Jesus, in an attempt to keep us safe, has given us rules so that we're safe. Also, just like mom and dad will give different household chores, empty the dishwasher, take the trash out, whatever the chore may be, the reason that mom and dad do that is to help develop the kid into a good adult, an adult that functions in society. And so sometimes Jesus gives us commands to develop us into the person that he wants us to be. See, the rules aren't meant to be a burden. They're meant to bring life. In fact, that's one of the ways that we can know that we love Jesus. We learned that John 14:15, Jesus is talking to his disciples and he says, "If you love me, you'll obey my commandments." So not only do the rules bring us life, not only do these commandments, these rules keep us safe and develop us into who Jesus wants us to be, but those rules also are a way that we can show Jesus that we love him. So this week, talk to your kids. Talk to your kids about the rules that you have in your house and maybe why you have them. Talk to them about some of the things that Jesus asks us to do that maybe truthfully you struggle with understanding, but you know that God's understanding is so much greater than ours that we just choose to trust him. Talk about the things that maybe they don't understand that you do. And if you come up on questions and you want answers, work through them together. It's okay not to have the answer to everything, but God does ask us to obey him. Sometimes obedience is hard, but we know that obedience is greater than sacrifice, and that our obedience shows Jesus that we love him. And what better way to worship Jesus than to show him that we love him in a way that he's asked us to. Much like a parent gives rules to kids so that they can become who they need to be, so that they can be safe, and so that they can function in this world, Jesus has given us commands, and he's given us rules so that we can be safe, so that we can become who we need to become, so that we can function not in this world, but in God's kingdom, and so that we can bring others with us into God's kingdom.